We're going to talk about the jet pump on this. This is a rock-proof jet boat, river rocket model. It has a Mercury sport jet motor, and I'm going to talk about some different performance stuff that I've messed around with over the years for the pump on these boats. So the two things, really three things, the wear items on the pump in a boat are going to be your impeller, your liner, and your stator. It's just, if you use the boat, if you're running gravel or sand or anything through, over time, you're going to wear these items out. You're going to probably wear the liner out first. So the two companies that I've dealt with are Maverick, which would be Skunk Works. I guess he was inspired by probably Lockheed Martin and Kelly Johnson from back in the day when they had the SR-71 project. But anyhow, he just stuck with the whole jet thing going into jet boats. He created a company called Skunk Works, or Maverick Skunk Works, and they build beefed up jet boat parts. He makes a liner. Basically, he'll take your liner and he makes a new sleeve that inserts in that's made out of either Delrin or UHMW. So he'll machine out your liner and insert this new plastic one. And I've tried that, and I think initially the performance increases from that were the Maverick, the performance off the Maverick right off the bat was probably better. I think basically your performance comes from, the increased performance comes from having a tighter tolerance in between the impeller and the liner, and having, you know, a stainless steel impeller on a plastic liner. You can go super tight there and really get a lot of performance. So it's kind of like, it's race-like performance. The problem with the plastic liner is when you start running stuff through it, you're gonna wear it out. And he told me that it was actually more durable than steel or stainless steel or, you know, cast aluminum. And I took his word for it, but it wore out quick for me. So for running in a river, running gravel through a pump, I would not recommend getting a plastic liner. In this case, I would recommend, I had the better experience with Exact Welding. They basically do the same thing. They'll machine out your liner and they'll insert a stainless steel liner. And I mean, it's just common sense. Stainless steel is going to hold up better than, you know, UHMW or plastic Delrin. So that seemed to work best. And he will build your impeller up to fit the tolerance, you know, and like I talked about, in between the impeller and the liner. I think from the factory it's around 30 thousandths, and Claude tries to get it around, I think it's 10 thousandths, maybe 9 thousandths or 8 thousandths, but he gets it, it's really tight. I mean, you notice it you'll notice it right away if you get the stuff done. If you do decide to get these, to change it out. I should say, how do you know when your pump is worn out? We should have talked about that first probably. You're gonna get a feeling like almost a slipping clutch in a manual car, where you punch, you give it, you know, your full throttle, and it just feels like it's slipping, like your pump is slipping, and that's from having too much of a gap in between the liner and the impeller. So when you start feeling that slippage, that's when you know you either got to get new factory parts. You know, it's recommended you get new factory parts, or you send your parts on your boat out to get remanufactured. And I've had a much better experience with either one of them is good. It just depends on what you're doing. If you're going to be running stuff through the pump, I think you're going to want to go with Exact Welding. And the other thing he builds up is the stator, and that's the piece that sits right behind the impeller and the liner. So as the water's spinning off the impeller, the stator, it has fixed fins that recorrect the flow of the water to straighten it back out before it comes out the nozzle. It has fixed fins in place from factory. Those fins are cast aluminum, and when you're running rock and stuff and debris through your pump, you're just gonna, those stator fins get damaged. The Exact Welding guy, Claude, he will machine out your stator and insert a replacement stator. It might be carbide. It's some kind of really, you'll have to talk to him about it. I'll leave a link down below how to get a hold of these guys. But basically what I've done with these boats is I get them, I'm running the same Stator that I bought back in 2013 from Claude. When I get one of these, this is my fourth boat, fourth rock proof. When I get the boat, the first thing I do is I switch the pump parts out. I want to have, so when I sell this boat, I'm putting new pump parts back on it. I'm putting my used Stator from my first boat on here, and every time I switch it out, I mean, it's amazing. Everything looks good. Everything is, it's just good to go. The stuff is built to last. I don't know if there's many people out here on this river that have put more hours on one of these boats than what I have, and really, you know, just running the crap through the pumps and just doing what I do with them, and to have them hold up, it's definitely, I would say it's Joe Raymond approved. It holds up. So that's something you guys want to look into probably down the road if you have a sport jet boat. That's definitely a wear item. And we're just going to leave it at there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.